Hi. Welcome back to my channel where I talk about whatever the hell I want, whenever the hell I want. I asked you guys on Twitter what video you wanted me to post first. Everyone voted for how to manifest really fast. So if you follow my Twitter, you would know that I've been getting my manifestations in like lightning speed lately, like a week max, or 12 minutes minimum. That was very spooky. Anyway, this is how I manifest really fast. I have notes. I have notes. The first thing I feel like is really important to mention is the fact that a lot of people expect their manifestations to come really fast, or they want their manifestations to come really fast, but they focus too much on a time lag. And even law of assumption teachers, not just law of attraction teachers on YouTube, there's a lot of law of assumption teachers who are still very limiting and still very limited themselves. As a result of having limiting beliefs, they naturally project their limits onto their crowd and audience, which is not so hot. This is not very hot, it's not very sexy, but that's just how it is. But I know that there are some teachers who do tell you that there's going to be a time lag, and they don't say that it's going to be a long time lag. The point is they encourage the fact that there's going to be a time lag. And that's just not true, because I'm over here proving it wrong. Your manifestations don't have to take a long time. It's not set in stone that there will be a time lag or some sort of delay or whatever. In the 3D, it doesn't have to be like that at all. So really the point is for you to kind of just create the assumption and tell yourself that your manifestations always come really fast. They always come easy. They always come really quick. However you say it, however you talk, you never have a delay. You're immune to delays. You never have delays. You never have slow manifestations. Your manifestations always come within a week. Your manifestations always come within 2 weeks, a few days, minutes, whatever you want, whatever you want. It's totally up to you. Just tell yourself that it doesn't take a long time. It only takes a few minutes, a few weeks, a few days, whatever you want. You could also say that it's just natural for you to manifest really fast. It's just natural for you to get your manifestations in days. It's just natural for you to get your manifestations in weeks. It's just natural for you to manifest really fast. Like, that's just how things are. You just manifest really fast. That's just how you do. Like, that's just how you do. If you guys don't know Sammy Ingram, I would check her out. She's like probably the only YouTuber, law of assumption YouTuber, who I can truly say is very limitless, because she is just limitless. Like, she has no limit with it. The point is, don't acknowledge the time lag, just acknowledge the fact that manifestation happens really fast. Create that assumption by affirming that you manifest really fast. I don't like to say the word affirm. I like saying tell yourself or remind yourself. So if you hear me say tell yourself or remind yourself, I'm referring to affirming, which is like, just don't like that word. I'm sorry. If you don't know what affirming is, here is my video here. If I know how to link it. If I don't, it's in the description box. The next thing I think is really important if you want to manifest really fast is the fact that you have to discipline your mind. And I feel like a lot of people don't really understand when people say discipline your mind. I feel like a lot of people don't want to discipline their mind, and it's like, okay, well then you just don't want it bad enough. Disciplining your mind is basically just keeping your mind focused on what you want, and that's what's gonna show up. You have control over your mind, you have control over your thoughts, and if you feel like you don't, or if you don't think you do, just affirm that you always have control over your mind, you always have control over your thoughts, and all that kind of stuff. There's literally a hack to everything with the law of assumption. Like, you're literally in control. You can manifest anything, including a perfect mental diet, or a perfect I don't know, self-concept. Anyway, disciplining your mind is basically just controlling your thoughts. Like, you're just thinking as if you already have what you want, but you're not letting opposing thoughts or negative thoughts come in and sway you, or change your mind about it, or change how you feel about your manifestation. Like, you're not allowing any of that to change your thoughts, if you know what I mean. You're not allowing those negative thoughts, those opposing thoughts, those intrusive thoughts to come in and have a little stay or whatever. Like, fucking hotel.
No.
Anytime you have a negative thought, an opposing thought, an intrusive thought, you just tell it, no, you're wrong. That's not how it is anymore. Get out. To just discipline yourself to always think as if you already have what you want, especially when the desire pops up in your head. You want to be thinking of it in a desired manner, like in the way you want it to be. Like, for example, if I'm manifesting a text message from a person, then I would obviously be thinking that they already texted me. Every time that person pops up in my head, my thought will be, oh, they just texted me. They texted me today. They texted me yesterday. They texted me earlier. They're always texting me. Like, I would always think about that. I would always think that they're texting me. And if a thought comes up that's like, they didn't text you, what are you talking about? I would obviously just correct it and be like, no, excuse me, but you're wrong, and they actually just texted me today. And then I would say that over and over. They just texted me today. They just, like, you gotta correct yourself, really. You gotta correct your negative thoughts, because your negative thoughts come from your ego. That's for another video to explain that, but they do come from your ego, and they're there to protect you. What you want to do is tell it to kindly F off and don't come back, because you don't have time for that. You're trying to build a new life for yourself, a desired life. Like, what good does thinking negatively have to do for you? Also, you can manifest not being able to have intrusive thoughts or negative thoughts or opposing thoughts ever by literally just telling yourself over and over, I never have negative thoughts, I never have opposing thoughts, I never have intrusive thoughts, and just keep telling yourself that over and over and over and over and over and over, and it'll work. Promise. Number 3 is having your desire feel more natural to you. I mentioned earlier that I don't like saying the words affirm or affirming or affirmations because I don't see it that way, and I think that's what's really helped me in my journey with law of assumption. Just kind of cutting out those words that I don't really use in my vocabulary, because I don't say, oh, I'm affirming right now when I'm thinking. Like, I don't say that in regular life. I say thinking or reminding myself or telling myself, just reminding myself or telling myself that what I have is already mine, because it is, and that's literally just how it is. I make it feel natural to me. You won't catch me calling it affirmations, because I feel like that's more of a task when I say affirmations, and it's not really a task because it's literally just your thoughts. I don't make it my business to make a whole schedule for affirming. I feel like that's just really unnecessary, and to me it makes it feel like a job rather than something natural. And I think that's where my resistance comes in, where I can't think of it as a job. Because if I have the mentality of, oh, I have to affirm today for 15 minutes, I have to affirm today for 20 minutes, then I'm kind of in the headspace that I don't have it yet, and I need to affirm in order to get it, when you should really be in the mindset of it's already created and it's already mine and it already exists. I just have to move myself into that version of me that already has it. And I'm doing this by reminding myself that I already have it, not by setting a schedule to get something, because manifestation is not you're trying to get something. It's already been created, and you're just moving yourself into that version who already has it by changing your thoughts and thinking as if that person who literally already has it. The last thing, I feel like in order to get your manifestations really fast, I feel like you have to actually try, like actually make an effort. It can be really hard, especially for beginners and people in general, to have faith, just take a blind leap of faith in the law of assumption, because all of these people on the internet are telling you like, hey, it works, and I got my manifestation, and I got this, and I got my desire, and blah, 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 blah. But for some people who are a bit more stubborn and are a bit more, I need proof for myself type beat, I feel like you gotta prove it to yourself. And I feel like the only way to do that is to take a leap of faith so you can see for yourself. Because the best thing to test something, honestly, is literally just by testing it yourself, like putting it into action and actually testing it and seeing it for yourself instead of just taking someone's word for it. Because especially if you're really skeptical, like that just doesn't work. Like it just does not work. You have to see for yourself, so you can know like, hey, this actually does work. This is why I recommend people start really small in order to build their faith in the law. and to build their trust in the law so they can see that it's just not a bunch of BS that people are spewing at you and trying to get you to believe and all that kind of stuff. It's actually like life-changing and it actually works. Start with things that you don't really have that much emotional attachment to. Like start with things that you know aren't really going to be like, oh my god, am I going to be disappointed, blah blah blah. Start with stuff like hearing a song on the radio that you haven't heard in a long time, or seeing a fancy colored car, seeing a rainbow, a double rainbow, a triple rainbow, a specific type of car, of someone you know wearing a style they would never wear, or wearing a hairstyle or hair color they'd never wear, or your friend who would literally never dye their hair dyeing their hair, or someone wearing a hairstyle that you want them. Like, the possibilities are endless for this. I wanted to announce a challenge. When I first got into the law of assumption, I wanted to test the law. I wanted to test it on seeing something I've never seen before, because I wanted to prove to myself that this actually works and it wasn't just a bunch of people just being crazy and not actually telling the truth. They weren't a bunch of scammers, you know? I tested my belief with seeing a lime green car, and I had never seen one before ever. Like, I don't know why, but I didn't know they existed. Like, I had never seen one in person or on TV or on the internet ever. I had never seen it ever, and it was just totally random. That just popped up in my mind as an idea. I was like, okay, I'm gonna see a lime green car. And this was my first manifestation. I affirmed that I always see lime green cars. I literally always see them. I always see lime green cars. Like, I always see lime green cars. Or sometimes I would be like, I saw lime green cars. I would affirm in all tenses, really, like present, past, and future. It doesn't really matter. It's whatever feels right to you. And despite not seeing a lime green car in the 3D, in my mind, I was seeing them really often, like every day often. And I started seeing them often every day. And I still do see them every day, which is really crazy to me, because that's just proof that, hey, I did that. Like, I did that. I did that. No one else did that. I did that. Hello, I did that. I brought it to Law of Assumption Twitter, and I told everyone my success story, and a lot of other people started trying it too, and they started seeing lime green cars as well. I got permission from them to use their pictures, their proof pictures of the lime green cars in my video, and here are the pictures here. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot more too, but I don't think they saw my tweet, and I didn't want to use their pictures without their permission. The point is, we did that with our minds. We kind of proved it to ourselves that all you need is your mind. All you have to do is tell yourself that you're going to see this thing, or this thing's going to happen, or you already saw this thing, or this thing has already happened, and it literally shows up. Like, it's crazy. I think that's enough proof that since we all did that, we kind of proved it to ourselves. And I was like really happy that they did that too, because I was like, okay, so other people are able to prove it to themselves too, and see that, hey, this is like the real deal. Like, it's the real deal. So I want you guys to, if you want to, I want you to test it out and tell yourself that you always see lime green cars, and there's literally never a day that goes by where you don't see a lime green car, because that's kind of what we're going through right now. So join the club, and let's keep this going for like a week or something. A week, and see how many people are able to see lime green cars, or are able to manifest lime green cars within a week. I bet it's like over 50. I bet. That's just me though. That is my best advice on how to manifest really fast. I really hope this helps someone. I don't know if it did. I hope it did, because that's how I do it, and I really hope I explained it enough and explained it well and kept it short. And yeah, thank you for watching. Later.